What is up, YouTube? Keith here from Cutlass Board Games YouTube channel, and we're making some more Magic Arena historic content. This is a format I've actually been enjoying a lot recently. I've been brewing a lot. We had a Rat Rush video go up recently, and now I'm working on something completely different. This is Grixis stuff. I couldn't think of a better name at the time, but a lot of these cards come from the Alchemy set and are very, very strong together. So here's a quick rundown. We've got Artillery Enthusiast. What it does is it kind of thins out a deck and you kind of know what you're able to search for. You can turn lands into lands if you need to turn blue lands into red lands or something like that. It also is something to sacrifice to Shattering Finale. Now, Shattering Finale has the text on it perpetually, which means that its toughness is reduced in the graveyard after it's dead still, right? So for example, if you hit something that would come back regularly, it will die as soon as it hits the battlefield. So for example, I believe it's Abiding Grace is the enchantment that the mono white life gain deck uses to bring back a lot of its 1-drops over and over again. What will happen is now it will come in and it will die straight away because it will have no toughness, which I find is really, really strong. Then we've got Static Discharge, where Static Discharge starts off at 3 damage and does more and more damage over time the more Static Discharges you cast. Now, this in particular combos really nicely with Spell Drain Assassin. Spell Drain Assassin, another alchemy card, says an instant or sorcery card in your hand gets Casualty 2, which is similar to Shattering Finale, where you can sacrifice a creature to make an extra copy of the spell, which includes itself. Right, so you can do that to copy Static Discharge, to put more +1 damage into the ones that are in your deck, or if you have one in your hand. Same goes for Conductive Current. All of a sudden, Conductive Current, which would kill Spell Drain Assassin that's in play anyway, is going to deal 6 damage to everything, and then it's going to stack 2 damage, and then stack 2 damage onto a card in your hand. There isn't a lot of things for Conductive Current to hit. It is just Static Discharge and Conductive Current, but that little bit is what made me want to pick that over Sweltering Suns. So I don't really use cycling that often, even though I have something like Xander's Lounge. Next up is Crucias. This is a great card. It does a lot to make the deck very consistent. It helps you get unstuck from 3 lands. You can turn Opt and Artillery Enthusiast into lands, because what it says is, in your instant, discard a card, and then you choose higher or lower, and then you will get a random card out of your deck that has a higher or lower mana cost. So if you discard something that is 1, you discard something and you choose lower, and you have nothing that's less than 1, it will go and get you a land. Often what I end up doing is discarding something that costs 3, trying to get Invoke Despair or Capricious Hellraiser. We'll get to the Hellraiser in a second, but better offer, because it is an X spell, means that we can not tutor for that using Crucius, and we can discard it to get lands, which I have done a few times, is actually pretty good. But better offer is like our top end kind of a thing. Sometimes Crucius just collects a bunch of treasure. If you get the Spell Drain Assassin's copy onto the better offer, you can just get 2 huge things out of your opponent's deck. I played this before against a poison deck. Unfortunately, didn't hit one of their toxic creatures, but I had 2 7/7s that had Ward 1 that could sit there and block, just be in the way forever, which is really, really good. And then Invoke Despair, which is basically a huge one-sided board wipe. This is the key thing that you're trying to copy with Spell Drain Assassin, because your opponent sacrifices 2 creatures, and if they can't, you'll draw a card. 2 enchantments, and if they can't, you'll draw a card, and then 2 planeswalkers, and if they can't, you'll draw a card. So if they have none of these things, you draw 6 cards, and they take 12, which is kind of crazy, because it's pretty easy to keep on top of killing all of their creatures, or like Static Discharge Planeswalker or something. And then you just swing so much gas, put so many cards in your hand. Now, because Spell Drain Assassin's ability perpetually gives it Casualty 2, if you hit it with Capricious Hellraiser, which casts a random non-land, non-creature card from your graveyard, it retains Casualty 2, which means that you can sacrifice the Capricious Hellraiser to cast 2 copies of Invoke Despair. I know that is a lot to wrap your head around in one sentence, but it's kind of crazy. Same goes for a lot of these things, like Static Discharge. You get the stacks up, you get it to 4, get it to 5 on your third cast. Capricious Hellraiser comes in. It goes, okay, do you want to sacrifice me, because I have enough power to be able to trigger Casualty on anything? Like, is casting one of these 3 things for free really good. This card is actually really, really interesting. This was the card that made me want to build this deck in particular. It started out very different. I was kind of like playing a more red good stuff, just like slam things, get the graveyard big, and then try and cast a Hellraiser for value. In this though, you can actually filter your graveyard using Crucius, where you discard stuff that you know you can't cast now but probably want later, to try and get 9 or more cards quicker. Same goes for Artillery Enthusiast, right? Sculpt your hand a little bit and also sculpt your graveyard a little bit, so when you slam the Capricious Hellraiser, you're hitting something of value. I have a problem where I discard lands a lot, and if Capricious Hellraiser hits a land, that's not great, because it is 3 cards at random. But then you get to cast a copy without paying its mana cost. So putting a 4/4 into play and then casting something that costs 5 and copying it twice is kind of an insane swing. You definitely could go bigger and larger with this, but because it's relatively inconsistent, we're just stacking our deck with as many cards that are really, really good the time they're cast the first time, and really, really good the second time they're cast. Anyway, that is the main breakdown of the deck. I actually had a lot of fun playing this. I'm currently Platinum on the ranked ladder, probably just casually grinding through as I do. I end up around this spot, so it's not like this deck was crazy, it'll get you to Mythic, but it seems pretty good. It's a bit more consistent than I thought it would be, but that's it. Let's have a look at some of the gameplay that I recorded for this. This is pretty solid. So we have Crucius, and basically what he does is he turns all of our cards into value and all of our 1-drops into lands, and gives us a treasure every single time, which is kind of crazy. That was really loud. New goblins. Playing out the double red because you might need to rely on conductive current pretty soon. And if I like slam Crucius next turn, I can use the treasure for my 3rd red. What the fuck? Discard Crucius. We are always ambitious, unless if we're looking for a land. He's 1 turn off, making... That's fine. Actually, I'm gonna attack into it. Artillery Enthusiast isn't really that good here. I'm just gonna lottery. It's not bad. Lol, get in there. Alright, seems good. 5 cards in bin. This matchup's pretty bad for me in general. I have to be like way on top to be able to keep them from killing me. This is pretty good actually. I'll turn the Enthusiast into a land. Oh, actually no, we go Greater. We go Greater. Because if we... Oh, he doesn't have another thing. Okay. We swing and then we board wipe. Killing stuff for this is going to be a problem. But I set up this static discharge to just kill my opponent. If he doesn't rip something that kills me, which he could, but he hasn't, I don't think. Nope. Okay. Muxes is like always a kill in this deck. Usually it just goes turn 6 though in the game, but that's fine. We get there. Conductive current doesn't have that many targets, but in this particular case, we turned our 3 damage board up into a 5 damage board up, which is pretty good. This is horrible. If I was on the draw, I might keep it. This is actually fine. As far as 5s go, this is fine. Let's get rid of both of the better offers. Get out of here. I'm going to turn my land into a land. It's just slightly thinning my deck. Guarantees I hit curve, but don't flood on my mulligan. Especially because Crucius makes mana. I'm gonna go and get a 1-drop out of your deck because I know you're playing Ornithopter. I can't miss basically. But I could hit something better. He's gonna counter it? Bro, just let me have an Ornithopter. That's so cringe. Give me my 2 mana 1/1 Ornithopter. Anyway. Oh, it resolves. Sick. We go Greater, but there's a pretty good chance I can't cast what I hit, which is fine. In the board presence, we should have Menace or something. Any keyword on this card, but like it's already pretty bonkers. It's like an almost demonic tutor every turn. Like if you stack your deck well enough, oh, that's so painful. I'm just going to attack and maybe he kills it. And then I get to play the other one. There's no tempo loss, but if that's the case, then I don't get to activate. Okay. That's fine. Cradle. Hellraiser. Doesn't really have any good targets, unfortunately. Better Offer and Hellraiser don't really synergize very well. My opponent's not drawn whatever it is they're supposed to be doing. Slightly better. These 2 cards work really well together if you need to deal 6 to everything, because he's going to die anyway to this, so you might as well sacrifice it. But hoping just to get stuff that is not removal and just is gas. Right now I'm just filling up my graveyard so that my future dragons are bigger and better. Okay, so what we've been looking for. So now we spell drain to make this get 2 copies. And it's pretty backbreaking. I have to draw 100 cards, gain 100 life. Well, They lose 100 life. I can actually cast it this turn. Wow, that's a lot of treasures. What's the bet he has? Spell Pierce. That's actually fine. Because I get to draw 2 cards. And then Crucius will filter another one in. It's hard to know what my opponent's really doing. And like, this is such a weird card. I'm going to decline. I'm going to go Greater. So any Invoke Despair and any dragons at this point are like just gas. Just straight gas. Dragon's obviously a bit of a casino option, but he's playing ninjas? Or he's conceding? He's playing ninjas. Yeah, right. Oh, now this makes sense. Okay. I was expecting an artifact deck. Hypnotic Sprite. What's the chance the last card's a counterspell? I just kill him, I guess. It's got to have something to be holding priority. It just might be irrelevant. Okay. Because even if he does counter this, I just Conductive Current the board and untap Invoke Despair to kill him. Which is pretty good. Oh my god. We're on the draw. I think we actually do keep this. We bin this looking for Crucio, I guess. Ooh, Life Gain is a really bad matchup. I might actually keep that. Turn this into an opt. Oh. Yeah. It's a better offer. Hate this card. Needs to be banned in the format. This deck needs 3 cards banned, genuinely. This is really good here. Yeah, Finale is actually really good. Because even if he reanimates the stuff, like for example, is it Abiding Grace? Whenever he brings back the Soul Sister, it does nothing. I'll let you have that. I need to develop a board state by turning this into a land. Which is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. It's kind of like Abundance, where you can turn land or non-land from any card in your hand that way. But I guess he just didn't draw the 3rd land. This is an easy keep, actually. On the play and on the draw. On the draw, I lead Artillery Enthusiast. Interesting. Okay. I want to play Crucius next turn. But, like, if he threatens me enough, I'll have to Finale. I can Finale and Opt, I guess. Voice of the Blessed. Yep, we are killing both of those things. Let's just go like this. Sacrifice my dude. Go like this. Don't need that. That's actually fine. Unless you play something horrible, that's fine, okay. 0 cares. Return Artillery Enthusiast into a land. Because you just want to kind of get to 5, I think 5 is where I'm most comfortable. This is a problem because it dodges both of these things. It's not a soldier. I think I do it just so I can attack through. Because then next turn I'm probably going to board wipe anyway, so if they block, it's not a big deal. This way I can Hellraiser, but the really thing I can hit is Finale. There's a Heliod, which is not great. Finale kills Heliod though. Little known fact. Little known fact, if it has 0 toughness, it will go to the graveyard. Yeah, we just blow it up. Because then Conductive Current gets boosted, so the next one is 5. But I'm probably just going to slam Hellraiser. Is that enough? No. 3. Does he have Voice of the Blessed? No. I ripped Finale. I think I just slammed this and hope I hit Opt. I can just decline, but what do we get? Yeah, we hit Opt at the price of what? Junk. Sick. That's actually pretty good. Better Offer is actually pretty good. Because if I Better Offer for 3, I could hit Mirel. Do I just kill this? I think so. I think keeping my opponent's board state as empty as possible is good. I could actually hit a Heliod if I go for 3, which is kind of bad. Because I don't gain life. I could activate it with a treasure. Get lifelink entirely one time. He's gonna make another cat. And I could current. I don't know if that's really what I want to do. It's probably the best play. Let's go for a Better Offer. Because then this will hopefully hit something big. I'll let you draw a card. Probably a mistake, but I'll let you draw a card. Huge. Let me kill a Johnny. Not because I'm worried about a Johnny, but because I don't want Heliod to become a creature in a hurry. But like, this is pretty strong. I get to just slam in with this every turn. My opponent's flooded a little bit, which is pretty good for us. Give it a lifelink, sure. Make this guy slightly bigger. That's fine. I could hit another Conductive, which would actually be really good. No, this doesn't die. I kill my Linden. But I can opt Lameo. I'll actually pay. Crucius on top. No, I think we don't. So I could deal 10 to everything. Seems good. Seems good. Not that I want to, but it's pretty good. So I have a... okay. Interesting. We just rumble. I wonder if he blocks here. Because you can block Linden, give it lifelink, and he takes 4 net. That's a pretty good outcome for me. He used to put a counter on Esper Sentinel. That doesn't bother me as much. I'm just gonna play this. There's like no downside to me casting it a second time. Not only does it buff the second thing twice, but like the thing it would destroy is destroyed anyway. But I think doing this one might be better. Getting in for 8. I think so, yeah. And buff. Static discharge. Let my opponent draw a bunch of cards, which isn't great. Decline. Decline. Make this bigger. I think that's the plan. I think next turn I board wipe. Sacrifice the thing. This goes from being 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think. Damn, 11 lands. Does he have another creature? He does. And it's a good one. So that'll turn Heliod on. But he can't block flying. But he can attack with Heliod, but he can't gain life. Does he just concede here? Ah, he goes to exactly 8. That's not enough. Yeah. We still had so much action. Let's just show how much action we have. Stylish victory unlocked. Wow, he went 4 for 4. It's kind of gross. Alright, that is it from Grixis stuff. If you have any questions about the deck, or you think that there's a card that would fit into here better, drop it in the comments. I'm always tinkering with this. This has changed about 18 times in the last hour that I've been playing it, and this is just the version that I happen to hate the least right now. I'm pretty happy with it, honestly. But I do actually make a whole bunch of other stuff on this channel, so if you like Marvel Snap, I got a bunch of Marvel Snap stuff. I also have a lot of board game stuff on there as well, that's worth looking at. So I'll put some things up here that you can click on, some buttons for clicking on. I've also got a button over here for clicking on. This is also the subscribe button, that when you click that, it makes me happy. And so you should click on that, because you want to make me happy.